GED Practice Test 2026 General Educational Development, Full Course Science Data Analysis. Question 1. A pie chart is best used to show trends over time, the relationship between two variables, how parts of a whole are distributed, the exact weight of an object. Pie charts show percentages or proportions of a total. Question 2. On a line graph, the horizontal axis is usually called the y-axis, x-axis, z-axis, origin. The x-axis, horizontal, usually represents the independent variable. Question 3. If a table shows that the population of bees decreased as the use of a pesticide increased, this is an example of a positive correlation, a negative correlation, no correlation, an error in the table. One variable goes up while the other goes down. Question 4. To find the mean of a set of data, you find the middle number. Find the number that appears most often. Add all the numbers and divide by the count. Subtract the smallest number from the largest. The mean is the mathematical average. Question 5. The median of a data set is the average, the middle value when the data is ordered, the highest value, the sum of all values. Median is the literal center of a sorted list. Question 6. What does a steep slope on a line graph indicate? A slow change in the dependent variable. A rapid change in the dependent variable. No change at all. That the data is incorrect. Steeper lines show a faster rate of change. Question 7. An outlier in a data set is the first number in the list, a value that is much higher or lower than the rest of the data, the average of all numbers, the title of the graph. Outliers are extreme values that can skew averages. Question 8. If a bar graph compares the rainfall in 4 different cities, the height of the bars represents the names of the cities, the amount of rainfall, the time of day, the type of clouds. The y-axis, height, in a bar graph represents the quantity being measured. Question 9. A trend line, or line of best fit, is used to connect every single data point perfectly. Show the general direction and relationship of data points. Make the graph look more colorful. Ignore the x-axis. Trend lines help predict future values and see the overall pattern in a scatter plot. Question 10. In a table, frequency refers to the speed of light, how often a particular value occurs, the weight of the sample, the name of the researcher. Frequency counts occurrences of an event. Question 11. What is the range of the following set: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 15, 20, 25, 5? Range is the difference between the maximum, 25, and minimum, 5. Question 12. Which type of graph would best show the growth of a plant over 30 days? Bar graph, line graph, pie chart, pictograph. Line graphs are ideal for showing changes over time. Question 13. Extrapolation is the process of estimating a value outside the range of measured data, finding a value inside the measured data points, deleting the data, naming the graph. Extrapolation extends the trend into unknown areas. Question 14. If the x-axis of a graph is time and the y-axis is distance, the slope represents weight, speed, volume, temperature. Distance divided by time is the formula for speed. Question 15. A scatter plot is useful for showing one single point, seeing the relationship between two different variables, comparing three or more categories, listing names in alphabetical order. Scatter plots show if a correlation exists between two sets of data. Question 16. The mode of the data set 2, 3, 3, 5, 7, 10 is 2, 3, 5, 10. The mode is the value that appears most frequently. Question 17. What does it mean if a graph has a flat line? The independent variable is not changing. The dependent variable is not changing as the independent variable changes. The experiment failed. The data is infinite. A horizontal line indicates zero rate of change. Question 18. When reading a graph, the legend or key tells you the name of the author, what the different colors or symbols represent, the total cost of the project, where the library is. The key helps decode the visual information on the graph. Question 19. If a data table has a column for control group and experimental group, the comparison is used to see if the treatment had an effect, add the numbers together, hide the results, randomize the dates. Comparing the two groups identifies the impact of the variable. Question 20. Why should you look at the scale of a graph axis? To see what color it is. To understand the magnitude of the differences shown. To find the title. To see if it's a line or a bar. Scales can be manipulated to make small changes look large or vice versa.